Welcome back to another trade recap. So today, as you can see by the title, we took a break-even trade again today. So that's back-to-back break-even trades. Now we did actually get a bit unfortunate. As you can see here, this is the trade I ended up taking. Obviously, we will go into a bit more detail about it. To the eye, looks like a pretty solid trade, doesn't it? Yeah, looks good. Should have hit take profit. We can see this move here stop me out of break even just before we made that leg down. So we got unfortunate a little bit, but it's never the best way to look at a trade or recap it. Unfortunate really should be a word that's out of your dialogue when it comes to trading. You should be accepting the risk that you put on. You should be accepting the decisions you make whilst you're trading, and anything else that happens afterwards you just need to deal with, because ultimately you've made those decisions. So the positive thing is we didn't lose money today, so there's always something to take out of it. We could have, and this has happened. So where I'm saying I've been unfortunate today, there's also been other times where I've made the move to break even and prices rallied back up in the opposite direction past my stop loss, and therefore I obviously would have lost on the day. So today wasn't it didn't go in my favour moving it to break even, but these things happen. Like I say, we didn't lose money, so it could always be worse. Now, what I want to do is go through the hourly chart with you quickly. So obviously, Join Asia made this move up. Obviously, we inversed this gap here, this bearish gap. Obviously, breaking structure back to the upside, so made a move down, broke structure. So now we're back into bullish order flow. Obviously, long-term time frame is bullish anyway. We're trading at all-time highs again. So coming into session today, I was bullish. So we made this move up during London session. We had this gap here, this hourly gap, which price moved back into, and I was hoping to take a long back up into all-time highs. Now, the reason why I ended up going short, I'll show you now. So this is what the 15-minute looks like on ES. Now, we made quite a considerable move down here, and that's quite a tough range to get back through. Now, to reverse this gap wouldn't really matter to me, because we can still end up respecting this gap higher up anyway. So it would need to come right back up here, respect this range, and then also on NQ, that move down there is a bit more drastic. So you'd have to get right back up here, because we could end up respecting any one of these ranges. Could be this one here, could be this one here, could be this one, and it could also be this one. It would have to get back up and inverse that gap for me to then look at longs, and at that point you would pretty much be at all-time highs, which obviously with my trade recap yesterday, you shouldn't be afraid to trade at all-time highs when it's price action is delivering the way it was. But yeah, I would have found it tough today. So today, for me, very early on, it was either going to be a no trading day, or if it was sensible to take a short, we were going to take a short down to this new week opening gap. So this new week opening gap here, now for those that don't know, it's a very, very, very strong draw on liquidity. And just to sort of help strengthen that, if we didn't need any more, we had this hourly low here, which was formed pretty much equal to the new week opening gap. So to me, that was always going to get filled at some point. It was just a matter of when. Coming into market today, did I think it was going to be today? No. But this is where you've got to be adaptable and react to price. So where we made that move down, you can see that we ended up inversing this hourly gap here. Now, to me, that just magnifies that we've got a change in order flow. We're now bearish, and we're probably most likely going to be targeting these lows. So of course we need some confirmation of that. Now, when we went down to the 15-minute, I think I took my trade at about quarter to 4 UK time, which is quite late on for me. I wouldn't typically take a trade that late. anything past or near 4 o'clock, and I'm thinking, I don't want to be entering. If I'm in a trade at that point, yes, I'll manage it. I will, see it out, but I don't typically want to be entering at that time just because, volatility gets a bit lower, and I think price just becomes a little bit just slow moving. But yeah, like I say, today was a bit different because we had this strong draw. I just think, price was likely to come down. Now, as you can see, I've got this 15-minute bearish gap here marked out. So we made this move back up. Price filled that range, but didn't inverse it. It respected that range. And then obviously we made that move back down here and then back up. Now on the 5-minute, we swept out these 5-minute highs here, but still maintained that 15-minute bearish order flow. So to me, that was quite strong. Pairing that with the hourly inversion fair value gap, to me, we were definitely heading for this low in this new week opening gap. So I actually didn't go down to the 5-minute because I thought from here price would move pretty quickly, which it ended up doing. Now if I just go to the 1-minute, because that's what I went to, this is what I ended up taking my trade off of. So you can see that we respected this. Let me get rid of some of this for you quickly. Yeah, so you can see that we made this move back up here, swept out these highs, but we were still respecting this 1-minute gap here. So moved into this range, and then from there we made this big extension down and inversed this gap. So to me, that was saying, look, we made that move up. We've not only respected this gap here, but we've now disrespected this bullish gap here. So I didn't enter there. What I did do is just wait for slightly more confirmation. I wanted to see if price would take out these highs. If not, would it sweep out? Would it just, move past these lows? And if we broke structure here, which we ended up doing, 1 second. Yeah, if we ended up breaking structure below those lows, then that was me, and I was going to be targeting these all-time highs. Now you can see this red marker here. I'll just go through that quickly in a second for you. So yeah, we entered here. We actually got a good fill. When I entered, price moved up pretty quickly, and I got entered in my trade there. And you can see that I thought this was going to be quite a quick trade, quite a quick win, to be honest with you. We made this big move down here. Even when we retraced, we were still respecting this gap. Now, when we respected this gap here and then made this leg down and inverse this 1-minute gap, this is where I moved my trade to break even. So, yeah. So on that, I made the decision to move my stop loss to break even just because of how late on we were into session, I guess. And you can see that price actually come back up here, and we nearly got swept out. I think I was in the trade by about $50 at that point. It wasn't much, but we still respected this 1-minute bearish gap, and then we moved lower. So when we swapped out these lows here, which was originally going to be my break-even point, just because they were new lows formed. Again, they were equal lows there, so I was pretty super sure that price was going to sweep out them, but there's always that chance of a reversal. So that was always going to be the point where I chose to go break even. I just did it sooner today, just to protect any losses, and probably more so down to the time that we were trading at. I wasn't wanting to be in the trade too long, and I wanted to see smooth price action towards that new week opening gap. Now, unfortunately, price reversed on us here, moved straight back up. And if you want to see how close I was stopped out by, I will zoom in for you. Now, if that's not evil, I don't know what is. So, literally just tapped it, and then, as you can see, ended up doing what I thought it was originally going to do, and just rallying straight down to my take profit. So it's pretty easy to sit here and say that we got unlucky, but I made the conscious decision to move my stops to break even. As a trader, you've got to make them decisions. in the moment. You know, when you put your risk on, it's about accepting the risk. When you know, in the trade, moving stops to break even or taking profits, whatever it might be, you're making a decision. So, you know, if it had taken profits here and price had come down to here, you know, that's my decision to take them profits. There's no good looking at the market and going, oh, I could have made, you know, a couple $100 more. No, you made that decision. Get on with it. It's definitely the wrong way to approach it. So I'm not looking at today as, you know, I've been unlucky, I've been unfortunate, I'm not mad. Obviously, with how close it's stopped me out by, it looks frustrating, but you know, it is what it is. We'll move on. We've got 2 more trading days left of the week, so we'll see how those go. We've only traded twice this week. Obviously, like I said yesterday, Monday was bank holiday, and then yesterday was break even, and today was also break even. So the positive is we haven't lost money this week, but we are still searching for a winning trade for the week, and yeah, we'll be looking good. So we'll keep positive, we'll keep strong. The trades we're taking are good trades. We're sticking to our strategy, sticking to what we know. I'm confident, and that's the key thing. So yeah, we'll go again tomorrow. That's all for today. Hopefully, it's been a bit of a quick one, and yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.